I'm Gloria Cohn, and this is City Hall in Focus. Joining me in the studio today is Al Savay. He's the Director of Community and Economic Development with the City of San Carlos. Al, you are talking about a very exciting project that's going to be taking place in downtown San Carlos called Wheeler Plaza. So first of all, where is this going to be?
Great. So what I'd like to do is point to the screen and let the viewers see a rendering of Wheeler Plaza just so that we can kind of orient ourselves a little bit. So that is a picture of Wheeler Plaza, the architectural design. It's a rendering. This is if you're standing across the street on San Carlos Avenue and looking to the project, and you could see some retail, commercial with the awnings on the ground floor, and then the development beyond that. So that's the Wheeler Plaza project. So that serves as orientation.
And the construction begins sometimes in June. There is going to be some pre-construction people will start to see about when.
Yeah, so what I'd like to do is show you a map of the downtown and kind of broader orientation, because Wheeler Plaza will be under construction, but so will a number of other projects in our community. So let's refer back to a picture. So this is a bird's eye view of downtown that you're seeing here. And in the reddish color, you see Wheeler Plaza in a red circle there. So that's the location of Wheeler Plaza. Right next to San Carlos Avenue, you have Walnut Street running by one section of it, and then Laurel Street is really the heart of our downtown there. So that's Wheeler Plaza, and that will be starting approximately in June. Another project that it's important to note that will be starting just about the same time is just up the street is the San Carlos Transit Village project in the other red area that's in a circle there that you see.
Is that a city-initiated project as well?
No, that isn't. That is a different project. It was initiated by a developer and Samtrans. So that's a separate project. That was approved, and what that project is 204 apartment units. Now, Wheeler Plaza is 109 condominiums, so they're a little different. They're both housing projects, but they're fairly large projects for a smaller community like San Carlos. So I wanted to orient everybody to where things were. Also, I think it's really important to note that there's a blue area just to the right there, and it says the Samtrans Transit Center parking area. That's where all the commuter parking will be moving. So there's some commuter parking up in the red area now where the San Carlos Transit Village is going to be. And so that will all be moved to the south, from just to the south of the historic depot to all the way down to Arroyo Street. So that blue area will be under construction as well as a parking area. I think it's really important to note about that area is that that will be a neat public amenity for the community. That will have, we call that a multimodal transit station. You're going to have buses, shuttles, you'll have taxis. There's a kiss and ride area where you can drop people off at the train station. That will be a great new amenity for the city of San Carlos. So these two projects right in and around downtown are pretty significant projects for the city of San Carlos.
Al, it sounds like parking might be a challenge. Is there anything that you've done to mitigate the potential problems?
Yeah, so parking we think is going to be a very critical component of keeping things operating well for the businesses in downtown and for the public in general. Wheeler Plaza, the parking area there now has 187 public parking spaces. During the Wheeler Plaza construction project, all those parking spaces are going to have to go away for a while. So we'll see that there's some light blue areas on the screen, all over the screen there, and it says free public parking. So all the other parking areas that we have in the downtown will still be available for people to park in. However, well, the question is, what are we going to do when we take these 187 parking spaces offline? What we intend to do is right along Laurel Street, we've purchased the Foodville building, which is right on Laurel Street, and we intend to demolish that building, and that'll be the place for about 50 public parking spaces, and we'll have valet service, so a free valet service for people at that location. So you can drive up, and you can drop your car off and then go shopping, and we'll have about a 3-hour time limit. Right now it's about 2 hours in the downtown. We want to give people extra time in not acknowledging that there's all this construction activity, and it's maybe you'll have to wait a few moments to get your car from valet. So we're going to extend it to 3 hours. One of the other key things that we're doing is we're working with Samtrans, and they have a big parking garage right across the street, right across San Carlos Avenue. So the developer of the Wheeler Plaza project is leasing that entire parking garage. We will have another valet service located there at that parking garage. So you can go to either location. If you're a customer or you're doing some business in the downtown, you're going to be able to either park right on Laurel if you like, or you can drive straight into the Samtrans building, and we're looking at self-parking. We will have a valet service person there if they need to park it for you. So we're going to have plenty of parking spaces to replace those 187 parking spaces. One of the other things that we are talking about doing is we have dedicated employee parking in the downtown. This is really critical. We sell employee permit parking passes to the people that work in our downtown. We sell a good number of them. And we have several spaces that are dedicated in our public parking areas for that. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and issue those employee permits, but we're going to ask those employees to park directly in the Samtrans building. They will have a guaranteed spot all day long in the Samtrans building. So what that does is it frees up a good number of parking spaces for the public in the downtown in critical locations, but it also allows the employees to have a guaranteed place to park right in the heart of downtown.
How does this affect southern part of Laurel Street? I guess my question is, how far down south does that construction go?
Really, it doesn't. It stays up in the northern part, north of Arroyo. So again, it's these two key projects we see. Wheeler Plaza, I think that will be the one that's going to be the most disruptive in the heart of downtown. The Transit Village, we won't have to worry as much. All the parking for construction and things will be taking place on that lot. Now, it is important to note that the construction people will be parking elsewhere, and we're looking at having some area along the Samtrans dirt area there along El Camino for the construction contractor folks, and we'll shuttle those folks in. So we'll ask those people to park outside the downtown and be shuttled into the downtown.
Well, that makes it more convenient. And you've addressed parking. Are there going to be other impacts to the businesses during this construction? Wheeler Plaza, it is a big construction project, and there's no getting around it. So there will be some disruption to our downtown. I think on a daily basis, it'll be more about noise and things like that. And we're prepared to work with people on that as much as we can. So we do anticipate about a year's worth of real disruption until we get that parking garage built. Noise,
It's going to be noise, dust, and again, parking will be different than it is now. It may be an inconvenience. And until we get that valet parking service up and running, and we work out the bugs of it, we aren't going to know exactly how disruptive that is. So we do need to anticipate as a community that it could be somewhat disruptive for us for a while.
What's the timeline of this project?
So let me put up a slide on the screen. I do have a timeline slide, so let me show that to you. Let me move to that. And what this timeline shows, it's in different colors. We have some arrows there. So this month, we're going to start exploring some of the utilities and how to underground some of those wires. You may see a little bit of activity in Wheeler Plaza, but it won't affect too much of the parking area, we believe.
And that starts in April?
Yes, that starts in April. And then we're going to go back to our city council, and what we're doing is we're keeping our city council informed of all the activities, because all this is a work in progress and we're meeting on it constantly. So we want to meet with our council in a public setting at one of their meetings in April, at the end of April, to let them know what's going on. So in June, then we're going to start to see some real activity at the site. We need to demolish the buildings that are associated with Wheeler Plaza, particularly the Foodville building, and then put the valet area in place. We need to put asphalt down and stripe the spaces, get the valet set up. And we like to get that valet service operational early before the big part of the construction starts. So that's our intent, is to get that done. One thing I'd like to say right at the very beginning is nothing's going to happen until we get that valet parking set up. That is one of the most important things that we can do, and do it in a smooth manner. So that's the first thing that has to get done.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yes. Then, so we start construction in June. It's about a year of construction. We're hoping to get that parking garage completed by next summer. So the good news is that we'll be able to use that parking garage for the public next summer. Then it'll take about another year to do the condominium development on top of that, but we'll be using that parking garage in the interim.
And just to clarify, the parking for valet is separate from the parking garage. So you're talking about two different things.
That's
You're
right.
going to get that valet parking going pretty quickly.
Yes.
Then you start on the parking garage. Right.
Yes.
And that's, once again, how many spaces?
In the new parking garage?
In the new parking garage?
That would be about 264 new parking spaces, and that's an increase of 75 spaces over what we have today.
All right. So you talked about keeping the city council apprised constantly of the progress. How about keeping the residents and business community apprised? What are you going to be doing?
We think that that's one of the most important things that we do throughout this process, is to communicate, perhaps over-communicate with people. So what I'd like to do, I do have a slide that might illustrate how we intend to do that. And basically what this shows is our communication plan. And we have a number of different ways to get the information out and to the public. We want to take a hands-on approach with our downtown merchants. So we are beginning meetings one-on-one with some of the merchants right around Wheeler Plaza. We've already started to do that. We're going to have a community meeting with the downtown merchants as well, some stakeholder meetings in the downtown. One of the things that I would suggest, and I find really effective as a resident myself, is e-Notify. If you go to the city's website, you can sign up for a thing called e-Notify. And what that is it's email blasts that come out that you can sign up for on specific bits of information that you're interested in. We'll be using social media. We'll be using Facebook, Twitter, and things like that. Channel 27 and 99. We'll have city newsletters that will come from the city right directly to our residents. We'll have a number of public forums, and the construction workers themselves are going to be available for people to talk to, and they'll be listening too for issues that come up in the community.
27 and 99 channels, is that through Comcast?
Yes.
Okay. And e-Notify is just getting those email blasts.
Yes.
And everybody's got a smartphone nowadays, so
yeah,
that would be a great way to stay updated.
I think it's really effective, and Facebook is good too.
If people have a concern, or if they have any questions, who will be available from the city to address those?
So we've taken that very seriously too, and what we've done is we've put a team in place to deal with this specifically. So I'm going to refer the viewing audience to the screen again, and we have a number of people, as you can see, and there's their contact. We have Lisa Costa-Sanders. She's a city planner with really good knowledge on the Wheeler Plaza project. We hired an outside expert, Dolores Montenegro. She has a lot of experience in the construction industry, and she knows how to troubleshoot with the construction issues that we may be having. So if you have a problem and you see some problems, or you have issues with any kind of construction anywhere in town, you can contact Dolores Montenegro, and that's her contact information on the screen. Laura Tuchel is a local PR person. She grew up here. She knows the business people in the downtown. She has been hired by the developer of Wheeler Plaza. They're called KB Homes, and she will be able to talk directly with the merchants and restaurateurs in the downtown. And so Laura, that's her contact information there. And we're always available. Anybody at City Hall is available. If you just call into City Hall, we will get the information to the right person and try and solve your problem.
Well, that sounds great. Thank you so much, Al, for joining me today. If you want more information about Wheeler Plaza or any city activity, you can always visit the website. I'm Gloria Cohn, and this is City Hall in Focus.